Personal branding will dick all over pretty much absolutely everything in 2026 onwards due to the AI revolution and people using AI poorly, right? I've actually got a mic on today. I'm spoiling you all, and I'm going to be drawing on a whiteboard in a second, and I've actually got a stand here, so I'm going to leave you there. So I'm in the process of building personal brand SS. I have Instagram SS, LinkedIn SS, YouTube, everything, right? But I'm basically combining loads of it into one, which is going to be a new 7-module part for the community. And it's going into real high level depth associated with social media and content creation, because I think that we're on the verge of one of the biggest opportunities for people who've got real authentic brands due to what's going to happen with AI. So we basically know at the moment with AI in 2025, it's like the first major adoption. So I always basically describe it to people as, right, MI5 gets it first, right, because they've got all Secret Service shit. Then you've got high performance billionaires, businesses, everything. Then AI's come down into the general population in 2025. So what that basically means now is we're going to be on an upwards curve with AI use from 2025, 2026 upwards, and that pen does not work. That's a great start. So basically, in essence, we're on this massive curve going upwards, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So what we've got to think about really is, what do we actually have in our control, right? Obviously using AI properly, and there's loads of videos on this channel showing you how to do that. But I'm not one of those where it's like marry a method, you have to do everything with AI. I always look for what is the biggest opportunity. So with Personal Brand SS, what I've been building in the last few weeks, and I've just done a live training on the top 5 strategies to use in 2026 in the AI era, which I'll hyperlink underneath this video. I'll actually do that for all videos, so I think people need to do that. And I'll add my new website as well, so you can find out stuff on there, right? But personal branding. In an era now where we've got hundreds of thousands, millions and billions of users of AI, what's going to happen is we're going to have shitloads of people using it incorrectly. Anyone who's using ChatGPT for captions and posts and anything, you can see it from an absolute mile off. So what this does, it comes back to their first principle and makes you really, really think, actually, what is going to make people unique online? When people can auto-generate captions, auto-generate posts, right? What's going to make someone unique, right? I've got statistics on Instagram on one of my posts. If you go down on it, by the end of 2026, upwards of 85% of images, videos, scripts, and captions online will all be AI generated, right? I used an analogy earlier and an example on the live workshop that I did where I said, do you know when you're watching a video and you see a penguin doing a backflip and you're like, oh my God, how's that penguin done a backflip? And then it suddenly clicks that it's AI. Right? They're all over the place. Like, I keep getting fed them where I'm like, oh my God, that's interesting. Then I realize it's fake and it's AI. So what we're about to walk into is this absolute massive trust epidemic, because people are going to be like, oh my God, I am so fed up of not knowing what is real and what isn't real anymore. So what this does is it brings us back to one of the core questions of, yes, you need to use AI correctly and not terribly. And I can show you how to train all the systems that there is out there. But one of the biggest things that we've got, that's the pen that don't work, innit? One of the biggest assets and opportunities that we've got is, how do we actually present you? You and your authentic personal brand are without question one of the biggest assets that there is for social media. And if you look at top performing viral posts recently, a lot of them have lent into stories and personal brands and everything. And I actually love it, right? So I have not enjoyed social media for the last 5-6 years. I've made it quite apparent, in all fairness, if you're on my Instagram, because it's like 5 top tips for this and 3 top tips for that. And it's all this fake, trivial bullshit, right? But in an AI era where all of the content online is fake and people are in this massive trust epidemic, you've got to start asking the question of, wait, actually, how do I get someone to get to know me more? How do I get someone to know me more at depth? How can I use more arrowhead experiences of myself coming through? And you are the USB, you and your personal brand and your authentic voice, right? Because it's the one thing that's going to stand out online, on Instagram, on YouTube, or whatever it is, to be a differentiating factor to the AI shit that is out there. So what I basically look at here when you're looking at personal brand building is, imagine that you've got a fence, right? This is basically the fence of despair. This is the fence of nobody has a fucking Scooby-Doo who you are. Nobody knows where you stand, right? So on the left-hand side, so we'll just put left and then we'll go on right, yeah? It does not matter if you stand on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, right? Because what we've basically got is, we've got shitloads and hundreds of thousands of people who align to the values and perspectives and beliefs of the person on the left, right? We've also got hundreds of thousands of people who align to the beliefs, perspectives, and values of the person on the right, right? If you are someone who is sat on the fence and you're Billy No Mates, then there's nobody on that fence, because consumers want to align to something. They will stand behind someone who's got the similar beliefs, opinions, experiences, or perspectives as them. Because an offer statement or articulating and offering content is really fucking easy. Anyone can do it with ChatGPT now. Using high-level copywriting and funnels and VSL scripts and all that type of stuff, anyone can do it easily with AI now. What people can't do is replicate you and your message. So one of the exercises that I get to do with my clients, and I think it's one of the best places that you can start, is actually look at your core messaging and core anti-messaging system. So if we basically just put core message here, and then that's not how you spell message, and then we put underneath anti-message, because people always think, oh, well, I don't want to have an anti-message because I don't want to upset people. You need to upset people. People are looking for something that they can get behind. They don't want to see bullshit AI stuff online. They want to see real people with real experiences and real beliefs. So you need to basically think about what your core message is and what your core anti-message is. And how I start that is I'll basically turn around and go, right, what is your core beliefs about people? What are your core beliefs about life? And then what are your core beliefs about the industry that you are in, right? So if I was going to look at my core message in terms of this is the shit that I stand behind and I take to the grave, and the only reason that I'm £1 million business owner is because I'm so clear on my message, 100%. It's the main reason why anyone signs up to a coach consultant, because they trust me and they align to what I do. It's as simple as that. So when it comes to people, I believe that anything is possible for anyone out there if you are willing to try, right? I cement that in every single thing that I do. I think that there is no, right, you've got a high wealth family or you've got to have natural talent or whatever it is. I believe that anything is possible for life and people out there. I believe that in life, if you are a good person, if you are genuine, if you are transparent, then opportunities will levitate towards you. And in the industry that I'm in terms of business, I believe that if you do it right from the start, right, you don't have to do it again down the line and it won't trip you up down the line, right? But my core anti-message, so this is important because it's an example. I fucking hate closed-minded people. And I'll say it like that. I hate narrow-minded, closed-minded people who only think about what is in front of them. They have not got the ability to think outside the box or have any consideration for someone else's emotions or someone else's feelings, right? I genuinely cannot stand people like that, right? But this is a bit of a contradictory one, right? At the same time, I also cannot stand victims. I cannot stand people in life who have a victim mentality, right? I have been through shit in my life. I've been through trauma in my life. I've seen every part of it. And I've been that person as a teenager, and in my early 20s. I've been the person who thought I were a victim and I thought everything were against me. And it was only until I stopped having that victim mindset that things started to come together for me, right? And then in the industry that I'm in, I absolutely hate the fact that business mentors push people into surface level bullshit where they fall out with the fulfillment, they fall out with the mission, they don't know why they're doing something, they ain't got any identity, because all they're doing is trying to just spam and spend people's profits on cold audience, top of funnel boosts, and they've got no other strategy other than that. I think it's lazy as fuck, right? The reason I've just rattled that off for 6 minutes is straight away on this video, you know exactly where I stand. Right? If you are someone who, when I listed out my anti-messages, you're like, oh, I don't agree with that, that's absolutely fine. There's loads of fucking YouTube channels elsewhere. But for the people who align to me and my beliefs and my message, you're going to probably listen to that and go, yeah, do you know what? I'm a little bit similar to that. I might not have framed it in that type of way. So your core message and your core messaging system for me in 2026 going into the AI era is one of the most important things that you need to focus on. Because, right, AI is basically creating this situation where every single business owner, I'll zoom in, I'm not zooming in, I'm just pulling it in, every single business owner now is dealing with the same problem. Before your offer, before your niche, that is a terrible R, right? Trust. The number one problem you've got to solve, and the number one problem I've got to solve in 2026 is how do I get more people to trust me? Because there's hundreds of thousands of people now who have access to infinite amount of information, and there's hundreds of thousands and billions of people using AI where it's all fake. And the consumer in the market has no idea what the fuck is real and what is wrong anymore. The first barrier that you have to solve with you and your audience is trust. Before any type of offer, spearhead, strategy, daily email system, you name it, known to man, we can bang it out left, right, and center. If you get people to trust you and then you install pain, with your copywriting and what you are talking about, and then confidence with case studies and results, you'll earn a shitload of money in 2026 onwards. But your core messaging system is absolutely paramount, right? I'll ask you this question right now. Would you buy from someone you do not trust? Would you buy from someone that you do not align to? Would you buy from someone where like, I don't really know what that person's about? You won't. And it's exactly the same with the consumer market now. It is less about anything else other than what is your core message, where do you stand on the fence, and are you actually breaking down the trust component of it? And then I could literally speak for the next 4 hours on this, and I've literally got a new personal brand SS course coming into my community soon, which is going to blow everyone's minds. The next thing you got to think about is shaping your visual identity. So I ain't got much room left on the board, so let's go over here. So when we're basically on that, you've got your 10 pillars, right? So what I like to kind of look at this is what actually shapes your visual brand naturally. What's going to enable people to look at you and think, I can align and relate to that person. So I am a new dad, girl dad. I'm a husband. I like cooking for my friends. I love climbing mountains. I like fighting and boxing. I am a community leader, a business leader, a team leader. I love systems and I love AI and all this type of stuff. If you go onto my Instagram, not so much now because I have to film these videos in here, and I'm not going to film I might do a video log up a mountain. I'm actually in Poland next week, so I might do a video up a mountain for you where it's all snowy and actually got a good background. But the pillars to my brand are basically going to shape my visual identity. Right? If you have a visual identity that someone likes digesting, they like doing it, I can honestly promise you the amount of inbound messages and conversations that you will have and better response rate will be absolutely ridiculous. I cannot even begin to explain it. The amount of people who message me to do with something to do with my daughter or with my wife or my friends or what I've cooked or what mountain I've climbed or outside is ridiculous. They never ever message me because it's like, I've just put up this random call to action direct response thing, click on this. That's why I barely even do that many interactions on Instagram anymore. I do all DM CTAs because I'd rather have a better quality of conversation where someone's actually instigated the conversation themselves. So yeah, that is just a little introduction to personal branding in 2026 onwards. And the reason I've done it is because I'm finalizing personal brand SS, which is an absolute new huge asset that I'm bringing into the community, alongside updating everything else like I do all of the time. And if you're on YouTube, on the 6th of February in London, I'm doing a mastermind with Dave Fell. So if you're down in London and you're around on Friday the 6th of February, message me on Instagram, BenOakesworth_ with London or event, and there's some free tickets there. I think there's 9 tickets left because there's 40 people live in it. I think we've got 31 in the group. So alongside that, 5 strategies to use in the AI era, because it goes into shitloads more detail there, is going to be in the description. That covers shitloads on personal branding and 4 other strategies. And I'll also drop in the Coach Consultant new website, which has full transparency. They're my business programs, they're my client results, that's my book, that's my podcast, that's my YouTube, which you should be because you're watching this anyway. And if you want to work with us, then there's a call booking link on there. See you on the next video log.